What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more Series 12 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. Today we are once again using the Kyurem Black team as part of my 5 rental teams video for the month. If you haven't checked that out already, I highly recommend you do. It has just a lot of fun teams that I think are a blast. And so looking at my opponent's first team, it is Zacian Calyrex. It is Zacian Calyrex, Thundurus, a Whimsicott, a Darmanitan, and an Urshifu. So this is a very hyper offensive team, right? There's just a lot of things that my opponent wants to do. I really like, there's a lot of options, right? Like we do have Grimmsnarl, we do have Whimsicott to match Tailwind. I think I actually really like Magmar Grimmsnarl again, just because I think that there's so many physical attackers. The chance to potentially get off like a Burning Jealousy, I think I can't ignore that. I'm gonna bring Kyurem in the back. And then, do I want to bring Kyurem in the back? I'm going to bring Kyurem in the back because it's a Kyurem episode, and I'm going to bring Calyrex. So I think that this is my best option. I'm really hoping for like Thunder, if we can get like a Thundurus Zacian lead and be able to get a burn off onto their Zacian as well as their Thundurus, I would love that. Any sort of Dynamax turn 1, which is kind of what I'm expecting. Being able to burn onto those is huge. We're going to see the Calyrex Whimsicott. So not ideal, if we're gonna be honest. Right, we want to make it in a scenario where we can obviously like immediately get some knockouts. I think what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna go for Clear Smog into the Whimsicott as well as go for a big light screen. We are letting the Calyrex preserve its sash, but I think that that's fine. We should hopefully be able to take a hit on the Magmar fairly well thanks to that Violite. But yeah, let's just try and see what we can do. Astral Barrage gonna come out here. We can survive that hopefully pretty well. Yeah, Magmar really gonna eat that up. They get a critical hit too on the Grimmsnarl, and like look at how much that did. So Clear Smog going to come out here doing a really big chunk of damage. And so the thing that's worth noting, okay, I was gonna say, one of these Pokemon is Sash, right? It's either going to be the Whimsicott or it's going to be that Calyrex. We did see, obviously, the switch out, so that does really strongly suggest to me that the Calyrex is the one with the Sash. Okay, so we are going to see Zacian. So this is really unfortunate in the fact that because Zacian switched in this turn, or because of the eject button, it doesn't get the attack boost for a Burning Jealousy. I'm still going to go for it. I think we need to set up a Reflect here. Let's go for the Reflect. We just need to try and soak up as much damage as we can. I expect probably to see an Astral Barrage come out into both of them, and then probably a Behemoth Blade onto the Grimmsnarl, just trying to get rid of it that way. We are going to see the Substitute come out. So, this is definitely good for us, right? Burning Jealousy should be more than enough to break the sub, especially because this is stab super effective. Perfect. I was going to say if that doesn't break the sub, I will be very sad. I do want to go for another Burning Jealousy, and I just want to start Thunder Waving things. I want to go for a Thunder Wave onto the Zacian. I fear that a little bit more. We are going to unfortunately miss, which is actually a really, really big deal, because what it means is, right, like we are not going to get a knockout onto the Zacian. We're going to see the close combat reveal actually coming out onto the Magmar, and so Magmar, unfortunately, yeah, is going to go down here. This could be the last turn of Tailwind, but right, like if we had gotten that knockout, that would have been just so huge in our favor. I do expect a potential switch out from this Zacian. As a result, we could see a Protect, right? So what we can do is we can make a really big read here, and say you're going to switch out your Zacian, right? That's kind of my hope, is that you're so afraid of a Thunder Wave as well as a hit. It doesn't actually matter, whoever is going to point that out in the comments. We are going to see the switch, which is a big deal. We are going to see the Whimsicott come back out, right? Trying to reset that Tailwind. It's definitely going to matter here. We could have Hailstormed into that slot in order to take care of the incoming switch in, but this is fine, right? Especially if we are able to, what's it called? If we can get a paralysis off onto the Zacian, that's going to be huge. We're also in a position, right, where if you knock out my Grimmsnarl, what's it called? You have to choose between Calyrex and Kyurem to attack, and so that really puts us in a very strong position in terms of our potential damage output. You are unfortunately going to hit the Astral Barrage, but Grimmsnarl being able to survive there is a really big deal, right? Because Kyurem just going to be able to get rid of this Calyrex, and so now we are tied in the Pokemon count. Yeah, we're tied because my opponent got rid of the Magmar, but this is still doable, I think. Probably not. We are going to have to get lucky, but you know, like that's how we play this game. So Grimmsnarl going to survive here. That's big, right? Because now what probably is going to happen is you're probably going to want to bring out your Zacian, trying to get rid of stuff. So we can go for a Thunder Wave. We're going to see your Shifu actually as the Pokemon of choice come out here, and so probably this suggests me you're banded on your Shifu. I'm just going to click a Wormwind here, and then I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave on the Whimsicott, more just out of the fact that I don't have a better option. We're also in we probably, in all honesty, should have gone for, what's it called, a Spirit Break into the Urshifu. We are, obviously, as we saw, specs on the Calyrex, so we can't really do much here. We could see an Urshifu Max, right, just because of the fact that they don't really have a good max option otherwise, right? I mean, it could be Whimsicott. So Kyurem Black just looks so cool. We are going to see the max, so this actually in my mind could go both ways between Urshifu and Whimsicott. So interested to see what my opponent goes for. They are unfortunately going to go for the Urshifu. I think that Whimsicott would have been way cooler. This is still bad. We're going to see the Tailwind come out. We are going to be able to at least paralyze this Whimsicott. I really should have gone for a Spirit Break into the Urshifu, just trying to guarantee we can get as much damage as possible. We're going to see a Rockfall come out, and so this is going to go definitely into the Kyurem, right? And so this is a situation where having the Spirit Break would have been a huge deal, right? Like, what are we actually accomplishing by going for a T-Wave into the Whimsicott, whereas this extra damage... Oh, we have a weakness policy. Haha. Forgot about that. So, pretty good spot, right? Like, we are going to get the weakness policy off. This should... Wow, this is where, yeah, the Spirit Break would have been huge here, right? We would have been able to KO this Urshifu, whereas now it is able to survive. The paralysis on the Whimsicott really not going to matter here at all, especially now, yeah, the Grimmsnarl, right, going down, and so we're forced to bring out Calyrex, which pretty much seals our endgame, right? Because you always go for the knockout onto the Calyrex. The Calyrex, because of the lack of Scarf, goes down, and then you just bring out Zacian, and Zacian one-shots Kyurem. So we can go for a Lightning here, just for lulz, and then we can click Astral Barrage, but like I said, it is a very free hit into my my Calyrex. So yeah, this was a throw. Yeah, we're gonna see the one blow. It should very easily go out into the Calyrex. I've never seen an HP bar drop so fast. Yeah, so that was my bad. Spirit Break would have made a huge difference, right? We would have had a policy. We would have had Calyrex, and then Zacian is low enough where you have to make the choice. I think we're still not out of the water because the Whimsicott, right, can deal so much damage back. I thought Kyurem could do more, but I always forget just quite how bulky Urshifu is. Everyone says it's like so frail, it has no defense, but I actually disagree with that. I think Urshifu does offer quite a bit of defense, but yeah, at this point, right, like we have a Kyurem versus a Zacian, and the Zacian has access to Tailwind, and there's just no way we can survive. So the question, yeah, the Zacian is so high up. It probably depends on the spread. Could have been in range of Astral Barrage, so the double up actually could have very well saved me, especially because we do have the Reflect Up, which means that Calyrex can survive an Astral Barrage. So I'm just going to run. It doesn't make sense. That is sort of kind of the way it goes when you are using Kyurem. Like I said, it is just so weak into Zacian that if you cannot set up perfectly for it, you just kind of lose. And when playing hyper offense, right, it's very hard to position correctly. And so a little bit of an unfortunate first game for sure, but that's just kind of the way it goes. And let's just keep rocking and rolling and move into the next one. Actually, before we say that, we can see the opponent's team. I'm just curious. So yeah, there's like no bulk on the Zacian. Calyrex would have been able to get rid of it, and so we are seeing the focus sash here. Yeah, so that's kind of what we expect. Yeah, we're seeing very standard sets. The Whimsicott opting for a little bit of bulk, which I think is cool. No protect, which is fine. Darmanitan, we saw what I can do, and then the Urshifu. Yeah, so it is confirmed to be choice band, which is what I thought. But yeah, so still an unfortunate first game, but let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and we are once again playing against Hyper Offense. It is a Calyrex Kyogre team. It is Regieleki, Calyrex, Kyogre, Urshifu, Whimsicott, and Indeedee. So I think we definitely need Grimmsnarl here. Just having that screen support is huge. I think we are going to probably need Thundurus. I think Grimmsnarl Thundurus is going to be very, very important here overall. Calyrex, and then if we bring Calyrex, we have to bring Whimsicott. I think this is my best bet. We do obviously have to be very worried about hyper offense, but it should be definitely doable, especially given the fact that we do have access to Grimmsnarl, right? Like Grimmsnarl with screens is one of the best ways to slow down hyper offense. But yeah, let's see how this works out. I think that this definitely does put us in the best position overall to kind of counteract things, and so if we can get like a paralysis up turn 1 or even a screen, I think screens are very huge here. Having the assault vest on the Thundurus also a really big deal here, right? Like there are so many special attackers with I mean not so many, like both your restricteds are special attackers, and like what physical Aleki still scary for sure, but manageable. Urshifu obviously not going to like Calyrex too much. So let's see here. We are going to see the Whimsicott Regieleki, and so this is what my thought process is. I want to go for a Reflect and then an Airstream. Let's go for a Reflect. Like I said, I do expect this to be physical. I'm going to go for an Airstream into the Whimsicott, just trying to get rid of it. So one thing that we might want to try to do is, what's it called? One thing we might want to try to do is use, we have Max Overgrowth, right? This is a weird little tech to try and overwrite the electric terrain. We do need to set up a position where they don't have Tailwind and we do, because Calyrex is Sash, right? Like, I mean, not Sash, it's Specs. If they have Assurance, that can definitely put a big damper on our plans. And so we are going to see the Aleki get big. I really do, like I said, expect it to be a physical variant, just because that's what makes the most sense on this team comp. We could see special with Rising Voltage, right? Like that's also an option. But I want to definitely go for at least one screen this turn and then go for another the subsequent turn. If they are Trick, that's going to be a little bit unfortunate, but they do get an Assault Vest, which means that we can try and set up for a Calyrex sweep in the endgame, as we are going to see the Taunt come out. So my opponent, not knowing that you can't taunt into Dark-type Pokemon, that is really going to help us, right? It lets us get up a guaranteed screen. We are going to see the Max Lightning come out into the Thundurus. Okay, I don't like that damage. I don't like that damage at all. We are going to see, yeah, the Life Orb going to come out here. If the Whimsicott is not Sash, which it definitely is Sash, I was going to say we get into a much better position here, but we are, unfortunately, we need to try and get rid of this Aleki. I have... Okay, let's think about this. I'm going to go for a light screen here. I'm going to go for... God, I don't know. I have to go for an overgrowth. I'm gonna go for a knuckle onto this Whimsicott. We are gonna see the tail end come out. One thing that I was wondering is like, hey, am I faster with what's it called, with Grimmsnarl at +1? I probably am not. Otherwise, I could have gone for a T-Wave and try to get the knockout that way. We are going to see that come out. And so, yeah, I do not know if this Alecki is physical or special. But at this point, right, we really have no options. We have to bring out our Whimsicott. We can go for the Tailwind. We go for the Tailwind. We go for the Spirit Break. We go for a Spirit Break here, and then we just go for our own Tailwind. And basically what we have to do is we have to set up a scenario where Calyrex can survive and just go for damage. And so we are going to see the taunt come out. I did know that that was there. So, yeah, I knew that was there. We love that. We should hopefully get some good damage out with Spirit Break. Spirit Break going to do like 7 damage. We just need to keep putting on pressure here. I'm gonna go for a Moon Bounce into, or a Moon Blast into this. What's it called? Regieleki. Luckily, they no longer have Tailwind, as we are going to see the Wild Charge coming out into the Grimmsnarl. That really was not supposed to happen. We do have screens up, so that is horrible to see, as we are going to be in a position where, okay, so we won. We get rid of your access to Tailwind. You just bring out your Calyrex and proceed to sweep me from here. So, what have we learned? We've learned that Regieleki does too much damage. I knew it was physical, and yet it's still swept. And so now what's going to happen, right, is I can't protect on my Whimsicott. I am specs on my Calyrex, and so I'm just going to run. Kyurem would have been very good here. I don't know why I didn't bring it. Kyurem would have been very, very good here. But that was definitely a very bad call on my part. I could have very easily done Magmar Kyurem, and there's actually not much my opponent had to answer that. It is what it is. It's fine. I'm tired. It's early. We'll just write that one off, and you know, let's just keep rocking and rolling and play one more. All right, last battle of the day, and it is Kyogre Zacian. So it is Kyogre, Inteleon, Shedinja, Zacian, and Indeedee and Landorus. And so this is interesting. I think that Kyurem is really, really good here, right? It deals with Kyogre, it deals with Inteleon, it can hit Shedinja, which is huge. It deals with Landorus, it deals with Indeedee. The only thing I have to worry about is going to be that Zacian. And so I think figuring out the best way to get rid of that is huge. Also important to note is my opponent doesn't have speed control. So Calyrex, Whimsicott, I really like. I like Kyurem for sure. And then let's bring probably Grimmsnarl. Not Grimmsnarl. Let's bring Magmar in the back. Just as a way to proc the policy, I think we've been playing so much hyper offense. Today, let's try and match it. Let's just go immediately for a Tailwind as well as go for an Astral Barrage. If we can make it so like their Zacian is low enough where Kyurem can just one-shot it, that's going to be huge, right? So we are going to see an Inteleon next to an Indeedee, and so this is fine. I do need to be a little bit weary of a Specs Inteleon. I mean, not a Specs, a Scarf Inteleon. So I do want to go for the Tailwind, but what's nice, right, is this is a very passive lead for the most part. So we do have access. We could go for an Expanding Force, actually. I think that that's the right move here. Expanding Force should do more, and it does damage onto the Indeedee, which is important. So I'm going to click Expanding Force here, and then I'm going to click Tailwind. Or do I want to just go for a Helping Hand? I'm going to go for a Tailwind. I think that the Tailwind is just too important to not have. Expanding Force, because of the terrain, should do more. I always forget how that works. We're going to say it does more, but it's going to hit Indeedee, and you know, that's what the game is really all about. It's about doing damage onto Indeedee, and so we're going to get there. But yeah, so I think that this is a fine position. We are going to see the Inteleon go for a max, and so what's it called? Words. Going for, yeah, the Helping Hand. It could have been a better play. I think I'm just actually so worried about not having Tailwind. I definitely need it, that it's worth going for the Tailwind here instead of going for the Helping Hand, right? Like, if we lose Whimsicott, we're in just a terrible position for that Kyurem in the end game. So we should see the Expanding Force coming out. So this really suggests to me that you are doubling up into the Whimsicott, or you're going for a Max Darkness. You know, like that also one-shots my Calyrex, which is great. Sad. How low is your Inteleon? Do we get to see? We don't. Expanding Force gonna come out. Yeah, this is annoying because I don't know. Jeez, why does Indeedee do so much damage? I have to bring out Kyurem here. That's just kind of the way it goes. We can set up the Lightning to at least reduce the amount of damage that they do. Oh god, we could also go for I'm gonna do this. I think that this is fine. We do have the speed control. We do have to be a little bit wary because Inteleon does have access towards to Airstream. That's a word. It does have access to Airstream, so a little bit scary for sure. We also don't have our weakness policy procced, which is very scary versus Azacian. So trying to figure out how to navigate that. We are going to see probably a follow me. Yeah, follow me. Very obvious here. Being able to set up the electric terrain, probably less relevant. In all honesty, it probably would have been better to go for the Hailstorm to get the free switch in into Magmar, because now my opponent does have a free switch in into their Zacian. And so the big question now is what is faster between Kyurem and a +1 Inteleon? Because one thing that we can go for, what is Inteleon speed? This is actually really relevant. Inteleon. I need to know what Inteleon speed is at +1. Because what we can do theoretically, come on, Inteleon, show me your speed. Max speed Inteleon is 190 plus 85, so that's 275. So we should still be faster. I'm gonna go for a max lightning here, and I'm going to Moonblast into my Kyurem just to try and get to proc my own policy. Oh my goodness, that did so much damage. God, Kyurem is so bad. We're gonna, okay, perfect. We are gonna move first. This is lightning. This is a terrain boosted +2. We do get the one shot onto the Zacian, which is a really big deal. I'm hoping that we can survive the hit from the Inteleon. We are going to see the Airstream come out into the Whimsicott. So that's fine. We are going to lose our Whimsicott here. I do expect to see a Kyogre in the back. Also, we have Magmar, and so I'm hoping that Inteleon is in range of a Mach Punch. It's very possible that it is not, just given the fact that Magmar is bad. That's a thing. But we still have a turn of max, right? We have a decent amount of HP after losing all of it to our max move. I'm gonna go for a Mach Punch onto this Inteleon, given the fact that it does have speed boost, right? Like this is our best bet into it. But I think if we one shot the Inteleon, right, we should just be in a really strong position overall. As Mach Punch, we just needed to get the KO. Shout out to Magmar for putting in the work, and then this Max Lightning gonna come out. This should be more than enough to KO a Kyogre. Perfect, right? I was gonna say we are in the terrain at +2 from our weakness policy and max. So, you know, glad we were able to pull that one out in the end. Hyper offense definitely can put a sort of stop in your plans, and we definitely could have played that second game for sure a little bit better. I think Kyurem actually was very much the right call there. It did very well, and with Magmar, right, like they had no good option. We could have just very easily procced our policy, one shot the Regieleki, and then just really set ourselves up for success. So it is what it is. We probably will play one more with this team just because it's Kyurem Black. I want to try and cycle through as many of my teams as possible because I do want to start Series 13 content first. So probably a couple for all of them, depending on how I feel about the team, and then some Series 13 content. So look forward to that. And yeah, with that, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.